Landslides this week. On Thursday alone, 9 people died in a landslide in Kween and Bukwo districts. And so our reporter Daniel Kibet has been following this development and now joins us to give us more details. Good after. I wouldn't want to say it is a good afternoon because that is very devastating, situation in the Sebei sub-region. But would like to hear from you, Daniel. What is the latest in regards to the situation there that we need to know?
Thank you, Pedun. Quite incredible news there. The latest is that I've been in touch with people, especially in Bukwo, because we already know that in Kapchorwa, 4 people have been confirmed dead. They've already been taken to Mbale Regional Referral Hospital.
How many people? 4?
4 people died yesterday. Their house was, swept away by the landslides in Kapchorwa, a place called Tegeres. And then in Bukwo, rescue efforts are ongoing. I understand that way because Red Cross and Uganda Wildlife Authority are helping the community to see if they can recover more bodies. But so far, the latest that we know is that 2 bodies have been recovered, children, and then we understand as well that 5 people have been rescued alive. They've been taken to nearby health centers for first aid, but rescue operations are ongoing as well. It is feared that more than 20 people could be trapped in the buildings that were buried in the landslides. 4 homesteads were buried inside there, and so we are waiting to see if more bodies will be recovered. And so,
how are the authorities responding? Are there any plans to evacuate the other people? Because if this is the 3rd time in a week, then that is, a red flag that perhaps requires immediate action.
Yeah, Pedun, on Thursday, during plenary in Parliament, the Kween County Member of Parliament, William Chamonges, raised that particular issue and said that there is need for urgent evacuation. Because even on that day, he said, when he was in Parliament, he said that they were anticipating that there could be another landslide that same day. And true to his word, that night, there was a landslide somewhere in Bukwo, where it cut off the road and carried off an Isuzu truck that was fully loaded with maize. So this calls for really urgent attention by government. But the State Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Lilian Abe, said that government is still looking for funds. It could have secured some funds, and they said they are on the plans to relocate those people. But what we understand is that this has been disaster in waiting, because according to local authorities, in fact, even the MP talked about it on Thursday. He said authorities from OPM, Office of the Prime Minister, have been going there. They went there for 2 years ago, and even lately they've been there for sort of assessment, and they found out that indeed people need to be relocated to safer places. But that is yet to happen. Of course, government will give the excuse of no money for now. But what has happened now, disaster has struck, and given that, as a country, we normally wait to
until the worst comes to the worst.
Absolutely.
And that is the very unfortunate thing.
In a fire brigade way.
Yeah, exactly. And you realize that now you have to somehow secure the funds, which you had prepared earlier on. And ideally, the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, it is disaster preparedness, is supposed to be ready at any time T. But I would like us to understand, the Sebei sub-region is not an area that has been known to be prone to, such disasters. And why do you think this is the case now?
You're right, Pedun, because last time I checked, I've been doing some sort of a survey asking different people how often such calamities have been happening. And I was told last time such a calamity of such magnitude happened was way back in 2003. That's about 21, 22 years ago. But what has happened is that the surge in population, the numbers of people have increased, and so that means that the land of cultivation and even residing has become quite smaller. So as a result, people have ended up moving towards the hilly places where initially people were not living, and so that means that people are occupying sort of dangerous places. But adding to that, there's some bit of deforestation. People in an attempt to expand the land of settlement and of course grazing, people end up cutting down trees, and that makes them so much vulnerable to disasters such as mudslides and landslides. And I think this has been something that it's been cooking. It was on the verge of happening because of increase in population, and then these people don't have a better place to live. They end up living in those particular mountainous areas, and this is what has happened. We've seen what has happened now.
Now, Daniel Kibet, you are our reporter, but also you hail from the Sebei sub-region. Maybe I'd like to pose this to you. How is family? Is your family safe? Because, you know, we know you're from Bukwo District. Have you reached out to them, and are they safe?
Pedun, you see, my immediate family is safe, but I consider the entire people in Sebei sub-region to be part of my family. I connect with them a lot. At least I am related to so many people there. And so when I'm told that a person in such and such a sub-county is died, or his or her whereabouts are unknown, it bothers me a lot, and I'm so much disturbed because these are my people, and I'm so much concerned.
It is very disturbing.
Something really need to be done, and done really quick. And by the way, Pedun, is that one thing I want to reiterate here is that even the road has been cut off completely. The Kapchorwa road.
To the landslide.
Absolutely. So people cannot move from Kapchorwa to Bukwo at the moment. Vehicles that leave Kapchorwa must end somewhere, and then people find a way of maneuvering through the piled landslide or soil to cross to the other side. And yet this is a very busy road that connects Uganda to Kenya. And so that speaks to the kind of situation that is in. And maybe finally is that I forgot to mention this earlier on, but I understand that government has sent some relief items. You heard the statements again, Lilian Abe saying that government has sent 10 tons of maize and 10 tons of beans, plus of course the other relief items. And we do believe that this will be able to, you know, help people even as they cope up with the situation. Plus, of course, the fact that leaders want urgent solution so that these people can be given a temporary place to live, because looks like now this is a situation that is not even about to stop. I mean, we're talking about Thursday,
yes,
Friday, and now Saturday.
Yes. Who knows what will happen tomorrow?
And you see this is the entire region, Kapchorwa, and then Kween District, and then Bukwo District. So
I mean, the authorities have had, the situation is quite dire, and as soon as we get into action, we prevent a bigger number from being affected. And as Nation Media Group, we continue to condole with those that have lost their loved ones, and we pray that support gets to you real quick. And that being